Every day, students go to class and try to gain as much knowledge as possible from their professors. I decided to take a closer look at the person behind the professor. My interest lies with that of Dr. Marilyn Schultz at St. Edward's University.
As a student, she's been nothing but supportive. When I decided that I was going to fight my way through things this semester, she had my back.
I asked several students about the communication professor.
Marilyn Schultz? Yeah, let me tell you something about Marilyn Schultz. I hate people that don't like Marilyn Schultz. It makes me sick how good of a teacher she is.
She's very honest in everything, and she tells you exactly how it is.
So I really enjoy her as a teacher. She's one of my favorites.
Marilyn has a comfortable and personal quality as well. Students had no trouble poking fun at her.
Don't tell anybody this, but Marilyn is freaking crazy.
You hear she did some journalism in Iraq during the war?
I heard she did some journalism in Iraq for the Iraqi side.
I know, that's how she rolls.
Friends and colleagues tried to give insight into the real Marilyn.
Before I say anything about my colleague Marilyn Schultz, I have to say, bless her sweet little old heart. Lucky to have her as a colleague because of her wealth of experience.
I caught up with Dr. Schultz for a short interview.
Yes?
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
I'm not sure how you got in here, but certainly.
She was born and raised in the Midwest and is a self-proclaimed overachiever. Her involvement in the women's movement exhibits that drive.
I was a production assistant in Manhattan at NBC News, and we couldn't go any farther than that. So I organized the women at NBC, and ultimately it was a nationwide suit. On the record it says Marilyn Schultz versus NBC. The suit took 7 years, and we did make a wonderful settlement that opened the door for women in the business.
Colleague Lori Peterson revealed Marilyn's modesty.
I do know that there are a lot of famous people that she knows, and she's quite modest about telling people that she knows them and has worked with them.
I met people like Johnny Carson, and because he was still in New York at the time doing his show. I worked for Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, and I knew them well. Tom Brokaw was just a kid then. He was a little older than I was. In my Washington years, when I was on the air, that was Watergate. I interviewed Walter Mondale and a lot of politicians.
What did everyone want to know about Dr. Schultz?
What does she do in her free time? I mean, she's really cool as a teacher, but that's like all I know about her, and she seems like a pretty cool lady outside of class.
I hang out. I love to hang out. I am rich with friends. I have 2 great sisters I have a great relationship with. And I hang out with all my Austin friends. We have dinners, and we all cook gourmet meals, and we sit around a table and have long conversations, and we laugh a lot.
She also loves to travel. Her favorite place was staying in France at the Solitude of the Savior.
In this apartment, which had a view of the whole French countryside, it was breathtaking. I walked across the yard, and I turned around and looked up, and sitting on top of my apartment, was an entire cathedral.
Hello, I'm leaving Le Mans today, and I had counted on filming the sunrise, but there ain't no sun. I mean, there's a sun. There's always a sun.
Her interests include that of physics and world history. We talked about her love of poetry and documentaries. If she could be something other than a professor, a journalist, or a reporter, a scientist, or a comedian. I think that represents Dr. Marilyn Schultz perfectly. Intelligent, but not without a sense of humor.
I would just get in trouble if I retired. And I don't want to do that.
Trouble how?
Oh. I just, too much time, the idle mind is a devil's workshop. And I have a little devil up there.
I'm Kate Rosati.
Stop!
And I'll never come back. I hate these students.